Collagen supplementation, a new weapon in our arsenal for battling weak bones, osteoporosis, osteopenia. Collagen for bone growth. Weak and brittle bones can sneak up on you, man and woman. If the disease name osteoporosis or osteopenia is most often associated with women due to postmenopausal issues but can also be associated with men. As you age, you do not want weak bones. But in the United States, we have had established a variety of negative health habits and food intake habits that weakens the bones. Additionally, our foods are said to have 95% less minerals on average versus 50 to 100 years ago due to poor, shoddy farming practices. So our foods are not providing us the mineral intake that we need. And having ample minerals are necessary for building strong bones but also for neutralizing acid in the body amongst many other functions. But in modern times, high acid forming diets continually erode the bones and teeth, and really all tissues in the body. And this sets us up for all sorts of disease and in particular, weak bones. Did you know that if your body gets too acidic and you don't have ample minerals in your diet, then your body will start to break down your bone tissue and use those minerals in order to keep the pH balance in the body? Yes, if you don't maintain that slightly alkaline pH level that the body requires, the body will quickly start to break down bone and even teeth tissue for access to precious calcium in order to maintain proper blood pH. And if the blood pH is not maintained at around 7.4, and gets to out of balance, then the human body can only survive a few minutes from there. So it's important to get ahead of the game and map out a plan of action to make sure one's habits are established for making and keeping stronger bonds. Fortunately, here's another weapon we can use in our arsenal for battling weak bones, which is collagen supplementation. Check out this clinical study below. Here is a quote from a study showing bone strength improvement. Specific collagen peptides improve bone mineral density and bone markers in postmenopausal women, a randomized controlled study. The differences observed between the SCP group and the placebo group were verified by analysis of covariance, ANCOVA, considering the unbalanced baseline values. The analysis showed that bone density significantly, p equals 0.030, increased in the spine and the femoral neck after SCP treatment compared to placebo, p equals 0.003, Table 3. In the SCP group, BMD increased by almost 3.0% in the spine and 6.7% in the femoral neck, whereas, in the same period, bone density decreased in the placebo group, minus 1.3% for spine and minus 1.0% in the femoral neck, Figure 3. 3.3. Bone biomarkers. Blood samples were analyzed to evaluate specific biomarkers for bone formation and degradation in both treatment groups. At baseline, bone-specific amino-terminal propeptide of type 1 collagen, P1NP, and C-telopeptide of type 1 collagen, CTX1, were similar between the study groups. During the course of the study, P1NP significantly increased in the SCP group, P equals 0.007, indicating a stimulation of bone formation. In contrast, in the placebo group, no changes in P1NP concentration were determined, P equals 0.248, Table 3, whereas the bone degradation marker, CTX1, significantly increased, P equals 0.011. In contrast, in the participants that were treated with SCP, no changes in bone degradation markers could be determined, P equals 0.747. Conclusions. In conclusion, the findings of this randomized, placebo-controlled trial demonstrate that supplementation with 5 grams of specific collagen peptides significantly increases bone mineral density of the lumbar spine and the femoral neck, as well as blood levels of the bone marker, P1NP, in postmenopausal women with age-related decline in BMD. See the details of this clinical study for collagen for bone growth here. Other animal studies have shown that collagen peptides or gelatin hydrolysates increase the longitudinal bone growth in rats, 33. Increase the bone mass in both growing rats following treadmill training, 34. As well as mature rats, 35. Inhibit bone loss in overrectomized rats, 12, 36. And prevent bone loss in estrogen-deficient rats, probably by reducing the levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines, 11. Try our with all 5 types of collagen in one capsule for a quick and easy way for collagen boosting. Collagen Pro, collagen peptide pills type 1, 2, 3, 5 and 10 collagen capsules formula. Also try our VBONES Bone Health, Strength and Growth formula with 5 KIU vitamin D3, vitamin K2 MK7 and calcium all in one. V-Bones, Bones Health formula. Click the link below. Get started now. Find out more. Find a solution for starting a new strong bones habit.